This is One for the Record. I'm Diana, and today is May 30th, 2014. Here are your news updates for today. As you can see, I am experimenting with different ways of getting the information to you due to the YouTube fiasco. Alright, and away we go. The Watchers watching the world. Massive thunderstorm backed by dry, dusty winds hit Indian capital. Major explosions. Eruption of Sangana'i Api volcano, Sunda Islands, Indonesia. Citizen scientists took control of long-forgotten international cometary explorer. Ooh. Strongest shallow earthquake, magnitude 5.1, struck China, Myanmar border region. Hundreds of thousands of dead fish ashore near Galveston Bay, Texas. Increased activity reported at the last active volcano in the Balkans, Duvalo, Macedonia. Alrighty then, moving on. Let's lower it. Alrighty. E&E News, Energy News, U.S. Canada. New emails reveal concern over plutonium chain reaction in WIP containers. There shouldn't be a significant reaction. Criticality safety issues are not my area of expertise. Significant amount of plutonium. No mention of kitty litter. Also, official breach at Fukushima reactor blamed on saltwater corrosion. Over 75 tons of highly radioactive liquid flowing out every day. Also, this also is day before yesterday. Professor, just 1% of usual number of baby California pelicans, nearly complete failure to breed. Only 20 newborns in area where 10,000 expected. Expert flabbergasted by what's happening in Malibu. I've never seen anything like that. Okay, moving on. Fukushima, Japan. E&E News. Official in Fukushima, please help us. Hot particles of melted fuel are inhaled by children every day. We are forced to have it in our bodies. Please let all people in the world know the life we are living. Yeah. Also, yesterday, Japan scientists, we gave butterflies food from Fukushima, then they died. Deformities get worse with each generation. TV, truly horrifying. It doesn't really even look like a butterfly anymore. Be careful of that. I went on there and all of a sudden my computer crashed, alright? Just heads up on that. So, don't look at the video right now until it gets onto YouTube. It did something. It sent out some kind of viral thing and shut down my computer. Alrighty then, let's hop and skip over to Pastor Paul BEGLEY really quick. And, wait, before I do that, remember that UFO at the bottom of the Baltic Sea? Well, now they have divers down there. They're saying it's 140,000 years old, okay? Heads up on that. They've carbon dated it to 140,000 years old, and that's off of before it's news. Alrighty then. Okay, let's go to Pastor Paul BEGLEY, and let's listen to a little bit of this. It's called Urgent Update. 500 days until climate chaos, but supposedly we're in that right now. And I guess John Kerry or someone reported on it, but it's not hitting the mainstream news. And he has some guy on that's called Mike from Around the World. But Mike from Around the World, his voice sounds familiar. Sounds like the same guy who was talking about Nibiru a couple of years ago and how the planet's going to shake like it's been kicked in the ass. Remember that guy? That's the same voice to me. One day I'll compare it.
In my opinion, they likely won't mitigate it. But it's there are things forming outside of any nation's control, and they can't get a grip on it. One of those changes is a psychological phenomenon concerning people directly, and it's beginning to you have to understand the Earth's magnetic field is changing. With that change, so do attitudes of people. So everybody is like at this
So you're saying, no, wait a minute. You're saying it's that psychologically, due to the events that because of the magnetic field changing, people's attitudes and actions they start doing are being affected by the earth changing. That it's not anybody subliminally affecting them. They're good unless you have Christ, because if you have the mind of Christ, you're not going to be affected by these waves. Am I correct?
Yeah, Pastor Paul, in the beginning of the space race, they found out very quickly, without the Earth's magnetic field replicated inside of any spacecraft, a person would lose all functionality of their frontal lobe, which means they would be ravenous animals who sought to kill anything that they could see. This phenomenon is being echoed throughout the Earth in sporadic places right now, but as we enter a certain part of this, the position of the solar system begins to enter different influences, our sun will become 3 times hotter than what it is now, and it's going to happen relatively quickly. The magnetic shielding of the Earth will absolutely change as it is doing right now. It's almost like vortexes hitting the Earth, where there are open parts of the Earth that have no magnetic shielding. And of course they move. So you're looking at a people phenomena and a weather phenomena. The sun will be twice as hot as what it normally is. Our atmosphere, the layers of the atmosphere are beginning to almost like they're becoming non-existent. They're very thin. That's really bad. Because with atmospheric compression, the jet stream will get lower and lower. Now the jet stream is about 200 mile an hour airflow going through the jet stream. If that gets any lower, surface winds will begin to pick up, and that's where the sea problems come from. The waves, the 50-foot waves,
right,
which probably for some places would be an understatement.
Now that will affect, somebody just asked the question, won't that affect animals also?
Yes, what will happen with the animals is that they'll begin to enter their own type of mental chaos.
Yeah.
They'll do things out of, they won't have any order to what they're doing. The magnetic shielding is very influential to both animals, fish, and birds, and human beings. Birds are really susceptible to it because they'll end up gathering in places they've never gathered before.
Oh, like the 500 vultures that decided to gather in Lynchburg, Virginia, out of nowhere.
Yeah,
they're just sitting on
things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it was just insane. Nobody could figure it out. They had never been there before. You had 500 vultures sitting on people's homes. I mean, one house had 40 vultures, another one had 30 vultures down the same street. And no one knew why they were there, and I don't think the vultures knew why they're there. You know what the Bible says in Revelation? It says that there will be even the beasts. Many people would be killed by the beast of the earth, which sounds like animals losing all rationale, losing control of their reasonability. And you know,
yeah, they will become violent. Everything will become violent.
And part of that isn't that part of that the lifting of the shield, allowing the demon spirits, the principalities of the air, to take reign upon the earth. And remember what it says. Jesus said, as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be in the coming Son of Man. And because in the days of Noah, besides all the eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage and all that stuff, it also says that the earth was filled with violence. Okay?
Yes.
So what you're saying...
It has happened before. They can tell through the rocks that have been long covered over. They can tell that the magnetic influences of the earth back during that same time era vanished. It disappeared.
So see, what we're talking about here is nothing new. It's happened before. And God destroyed the earth with water. Noah found grace in the eyes of God. God started humanity over again. And the earth is now going through another transformation because we're in the end times. And it's physically the earth. The Bible constantly talks about the earth, the stars, the moon, the sun, and the sin of mankind. It's as if what's going on in the heavens is also happening on the earth. What's going on in the spiritual world manifests in the physical. And what we're talking about is not some new thing nobody heard about. It's in the Word. We just keep ignoring it. We don't want to read Isaiah 24 and believe that the earth's going to flip upside down. We don't want to believe that these things are going to happen. Is that a pole shift?
Well, I'll tell you this. Other than sickness and people being infected by sickness, the majority of the zombie apocalypse training that has been taking place is due to people losing the ability to use their frontal lobes, which means they'll go back into this animalistic behavior. So they will be called the walking dead because they'll kill anything to their left, to their right. People become very violent without use of their frontal lobes. Here's something that a lot of your, I'll just call them scientists, have discovered. Without the use of your frontal lobes, you lose attachment to your own body. And if you lose attachment to your own body, other energies can come in and inhabit your body and take over. Yeah.
Wow.
To your own body, other energies can come in and inhabit your body and take over. Yeah.
And you know, in demonology, and that's one of the things we studied with Dr. Summerall, was how that people, what's called an out-of-body experience. I'm not talking about when you die, you're dead for 20 minutes and you go to heaven and come back. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people laying in bed and they feel a force hold them down and take them out of their body, and they actually can see, and they fly around the earth and they can see things, and then they end up back in their body. This is a very demonic event. People.
Wow. Alrighty then. Okay, so he was also talking about the weather and everything else, about how the weather's going to be very chaotic and we're going into that period of time. I didn't even hear that part. Alrighty then, so it is 5 days down. We made it. I want everyone to be safe, and I'll see you again tomorrow on the flip side. And I'm working on trying to figure out how to do programs with all these different pictures I want you to see. And mirrors don't do it, but thanks for the suggestion. I tried that. It just blurs out. It's very strange. I'll figure it out. Alright, take care and be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow on the flip side. Alrighty. Oh, and if you don't have enough ice trays, you could take like a big gulp, a plastic cup, not a glass. I wouldn't use glass, and just empty your couple ice trays into that, and just keep refilling that. If you don't have an automatic ice maker, you might want to do that. There's a money-saving suggestion for you. Just take a big gulp cup, put it in there, stand it up in the refrigerator, and keep emptying the ice into it. And that way you have plenty of ice, so you don't have to go out and buy more ice trays. Alright, take care.